The Tortoise and the Hare.
In the heart of a vast green forest where animals live in harmony, there lived a hare known far and wide for his incredible speed. The hare took great pride in his swiftness, often boasting to the other animals. "No one is faster than me," he would declare, hopping around in circles to show off. The slower animals, like the tortoise, often found themselves at the receiving end of his teasing. "Why bother moving at all if you're as slow as a tortoise?" The hare laughed, as the tortoise slowly made his way through the forest. The tortoise, though slow, was wise and patient. He had heard enough of the hare's boasting. "Speed isn't everything, Hare," the tortoise said in a steady voice. "I may be slow, but I can challenge you to a race and win." The hare burst into laughter, the sound echoing through the forest. "You? Beat me? This I have to see," he exclaimed. The other animals, sensing something extraordinary about to happen, gathered around, their eyes wide with anticipation. The news of the race spread quickly through the forest, and soon all the animals gathered at the starting line. The hare, brimming with overconfidence, couldn't stop smirking. He stretched his legs, did a few practice hops, and even yawned to show how little he was concerned about the race. The tortoise, calm and composed, took his place, his eyes focused on the long path ahead. With a loud cheer from the animals, the race began. The hare took off like a shot, kicking up dust as he sped down the path, leaving the tortoise far behind. The tortoise, undeterred, began his slow and steady walk. Step by step, he moved forward, never looking back. His mind focused solely on reaching the finish line, knowing that every step counted. The hare, running at full speed, quickly put a great distance between himself and the tortoise. After what seemed like just a few minutes, he was so far ahead that he couldn't even see the tortoise anymore. Feeling triumphant, the hare slowed down to a walk. "I've got plenty of time," he thought, noticing a soft patch of grass under a large tree. "Why not take a little nap? The tortoise will never catch up." With that, the hare curled up in the shade, closed his eyes, and soon fell into a deep sleep. Meanwhile, the tortoise continued his journey. His steps were slow, but each one was deliberate and steady. The tortoise didn't rush, didn't worry, and didn't stop. He simply kept moving forward. As the tortoise steadily approached, he noticed the hare asleep under a tree. Without a moment's hesitation, the tortoise quietly passed by, his determined steps never faltering as he moved closer to the finish line, while the hare remained oblivious to the race slipping away. As the day wore on, the forest animals who had initially watched the race with amusement began to grow curious. The hare was nowhere to be seen, and the tortoise, though slow, was steadily making his way along the path. Could the tortoise actually win? They whispered among themselves. The idea seemed impossible, but the tortoise's persistence was undeniable. After a long nap, the hare finally wakes up, stretches, and yawns. He lazily looks around, still confident that he was still far ahead. But when he looked down the path, his heart skipped a beat. There, in the distance, he could see the tortoise, slowly but surely approaching the finish line. Panic set in. The hare leapt up and dashed forward, faster than ever before. "I have to win! I can't lose to a tortoise!" he thought, his heart pounding in his chest as he pushed himself to the limit. With every step, the tortoise drew closer to the finish line. The animals gathered there held their breath, watching as the determined tortoise took the final steps across the line. Just as he crossed, the hare arrived, skidding to a halt mere inches behind. The forest erupted in cheers, the sound echoing through the trees. The tortoise, though exhausted, smiled with satisfaction, knowing that his steady pace and unwavering determination had won the day. As the cheers died down, the hare, humbled by his defeat, approached the tortoise. "You've taught me an important lesson today," the hare admitted. "I was too confident and I didn't respect the challenge. But you showed that persistence and steady effort can win even against the fastest of opponents." The tortoise smiled kindly and replied, "It's not about being the fastest, Hare. It's about never giving up." From that day on, the hare never boasted again, and the animals of the forest remembered the tortoise's victory as a reminder that true success comes from steady effort, not just speed. Moral lesson: True success comes not from speed or natural talent alone, but from steady effort, determination, and humility. The story of the tortoise and the hare teaches us that arrogance and overconfidence can lead to downfall, while perseverance and a consistent approach to our goals, no matter how slow or challenging the journey, can lead to victory. It reminds us to respect others, value persistence, and never underestimate the power of slow, steady progress.